facts before us are clear. President Trump did not merely seek to benefit from foreign interference in our elections. He directly and explicitly invited foreign interference in our election.
America will see why most people don't go to law school. No offense to our professors. But please, really, we're bringing you in here today to testify on stuff that most of you have already written about, all four, for the opinions that we already know, out of the classrooms that maybe you're getting ready for finals in, to discuss things that you probably haven't even had a chance to read. Unless you're really good on TV or watching the hearings for the last couple of weeks, you couldn't have possibly actually digested the Adam Schiff report from yesterday or the Republican response in any real way. Now, we can be theoretical all we want, but the American people is really going to look at this and say, huh?
On the basis of the testimony and the evidence before the House, President Trump has committed impeachable high crimes and misdemeanors by corruptly abusing the office of the presidency.
I'm concerned about lowering impeachment standards to fit a paucity of evidence and an abundance of anger. I believe this impeachment not only fails to satisfy the standard of past impeachments, but would create a dangerous precedent for future impeachments.
Here, Mr. Collins, I would like to say to you, sir, that I read transcripts of every one of the witnesses who appeared in the live hearing because I would not speak about these things without reviewing the facts. So I'm insulted by the suggestion that as a law professor I don't care about those facts. But everything I read on those occasions tells me that when President Trump invited, indeed demanded foreign involvement in our upcoming election, he struck at the very heart of what makes this a republic to which we pledge allegiance. That demand, as Professor Feldman just explained, constituted an abuse of power.
The principle that in this country, no one is king. We have followed that principle since before the founding of the Constitution, and it is recognized around the world as a fixed, inspiring American ideal.
This impeachment would rival the Johnson impeachment as the shortest in history, depending on how one counts the relevant days. My kids are mad. Even my dog seems mad. And Luna's a golden doodle, and they don't get mad. Will a slipshod impeachment make us less mad? Will it only invite an invitation for the madness to follow every future administration? That is why this is wrong.
There are some additional high crimes and misdemeanors that are specifically identified in the text of the Constitution, correct?
Yes, that's true.
What are they?
Treason and bribery.
Do President Trump's demands on Ukraine also establish the high crime of bribery?
Yes, they do.
The Mueller report cites a number of facts that indicate the President of the United States obstructed justice. And that's an impeachable offense.
A president who will not cooperate in an impeachment inquiry is putting himself above the law.
Imagine a bank robbery, and the police come, and the person's in the middle of bank robbery, and the person then drops the money and says, I'm going to leave without the money. Everybody understands that's robbery. I mean, that's burglary. I'll get it right. Yeah. And in this situation, we've got somebody really caught in the middle of it, and that doesn't excuse the person from the consequences.
Impeachments have to be based on proof, not presumptions. That's the problem when you move towards impeachment on this abbreviated schedule that has not been explained to me. Why you want to set the record for the fastest impeachment.
Did you write an article entitled "It's Hard to Take Impeachment Seriously Now"?
Yes, I did write that article.
And in that article, did you write, hold on, I'm limited on time, sir.
I wrote
did you
that
write,
article.
since the 2018 midterm election, House Democrats have made it painfully clear that discussing impeachment is primarily or even exclusively a tool to weaken President Trump's chances in 2020. Did you write those words?
Until this call in July 25th, I was an impeachment skeptic. The
Very
call
well.
changed my mind, sir, and for good
Thank you.
reason.
I appreciate your testimony. Professor.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.